Hi everyone, welcome back to yet another installment on Ella Teaches English. Today I want to talk about the subject of grammar, whether or not us non-native speakers should learn it, if that helps our spoken English, and how to learn it if you do think it's important. We often hear native speakers say, "Oh, you don't gotta learn grammar. You don't gotta sit in classrooms and read your textbooks and grammar and all that. That's irrelevant and insignificant and a waste of time." And to some extent, I do agree. I do think that textbook English or the English that you learn in classrooms in schools is a little more on the impractical side. And a lot of times teachers fixate on these insignificant or at least not as important rules in the beginning. They don't really know how to prioritize grammar. And so you end up feeling like, okay, the entire English grammar is bad, is useless, is a waste of time. But let's not take it to that extreme. I do think that grammar helps you form sentences. It helps you understand sentences. It's like learning a math formula, say 1 + 1 = 2. And then now you know, okay, 2 + 2 = 4 because essentially it's the same thing. So learning grammar rules is kind of like that. It helps you find a pattern in all these seemingly unrelated and random sentences. So don't buy into the saying that grammar is useless. Although do find a good English teacher, not to brag, but you're looking at one right now. And I just so happen to have a great course on English grammar, specifically one that will help your spoken English. So all the grammar rules that you use in daily life, I really took the time to prioritize what's actually more frequent, what's actually more common, what helps you understand the scope, the entire scope of English grammar rules, and not necessarily like focus on the unnecessary details like, oh, this word you gotta put more D's in the end and then add an ing, or that word you can just add ing, and that word the past participle is the same as this word. That you can look up in any grammar book at any time, or you could look it up in a dictionary. But what I'm teaching you is how to actually form a sentence, how to hear a sentence in listening, because believe it or not, we need to have a sense of structure in not only speaking but also in listening, which in some ways I think is more important than speaking, because you first have to understand what the other person is saying. Then you can like really take your time to form your response. And now I want to talk about how to learn it. First of all, buy my course. Really, before you buy any grammar book, buy my course, because I really simplify everything. By the end of my course, you'll understand 70% of all the English rules, and the rest of the 30% you could get away with not knowing of them ever, because native speakers don't use all the rules all at once. There are certain rules that are more common, that are more practical than other rules. So I really took the time to only talk about these rules and give you the structure so that if you say down the line run into a specific rule, let's say a subjunctive mood or a different tense that you want to look into more, then you can have the option of just honing on that specific rule. Unlike what most people are doing when it comes to language courses, language textbooks, this is not a sequential thing. Like, I don't want you to buy a grammar book and then start from page 1 all the way to page 100. No, don't do it like that. You're not reading a fiction. A lot of these things are not chronically linked. Watch my course first, get a basic understanding of the entire English grammar, and then figure out what specific rule, what specific section that you're not quite sure about, and then just honing on that, whether by just watching my course again, reviewing it, or investing in a good grammar book and grammar exercise book. I have some recommendations down here. I hope this helps. Grammar is important, but not every teacher is teaching it the right way. Most everyone is making that experience really tedious and boring, when a lot of times grammar rules are really helpful, efficient. It is like a math formula. It helps you break down unrelated sentences, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you speak. You can just use a pre-made algorithm, a formula, a template, and then just insert the words that you want to put in. All right, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.